Hey, Danielle Phelps here, and today I want to talk to you about manifesting your desires. Have you ever had something that you really wanted in this life, but you just did not know how to attract that to yourself so that you could have it? So that's what we're going to be talking about today. We're going to be talking about manifesting your desires and what you need to go through and the process you need to take in order to make it happen. So many of us are sitting in a situation where we have all these dreams and all these desires on our heart of things that we would like in our life, but it's the process of getting them that we just do not understand, and that all starts in the mind. So that's what we're going to be uncovering today. We're going to be talking about the process and how we can bring those things to you. So we're going to get clear on what it is that you want as the very first step. What is it that you actually want? Not what somebody else wants for you, not what your family wants, not what your parents say is okay, not what society says is okay. Because if you have been following me for very long and been through my coaching, you know that there is a story and a belief and an origin that is nestled deep down inside of you that you have to uncover to potentially be at your best self and to be at your highest performance level in order to do anything in this world. And that's the main thing, is you first got to get clear on what it is you want. I spent so much time in my life people pleasing that I always thought of how everybody else would think, what everybody else would think before I ever made a decision. And I never really went with that gut, that heart-wrenching feeling of what it was that I desired for myself. And that is the main thing that we've got to listen to, is to understand what it is we truly want ourselves. So that's the first step, is uncovering exactly what you want. So I want you to just think about what it is that you want. Most of us have a lack around whatever it is that we want, and that creates a trauma for us. It's kind of like post-traumatic stress disorder. I don't know how many of you know about that, but it's kind of like a trigger, and it flares up at times. And it's the same thing in our lives, like when we want something, but we have this story and this origin within us that is a limiting belief that is keeping us from obtaining that. And so we really have to uncover our story and our origin and get to the root of it before we can grow the characteristics, become the person that we need to be to transition into the person that would have that thing. So it all relies around our belief system and what it is that we believe. And when we're able to manifest and bring that to us, it's because we've done the inner work that needs to be done. We've done the personal development. Because things don't come to a person who, like, let's just say, for example, a doctor isn't a doctor just because they were born into a doctor family. Like, they actually have to have the knowledge to be a doctor, right? So they have to go through the growing process of becoming that doctor in order to be the doctor. And it goes for anything that we want in this life. There are stepping stones that we have to take in order to get to that place. So, like, just for instance, a millionaire has a certain mindset, has a certain energy, has a certain posture about themselves, the way they walk, the way they talk, the way they think. And if you don't already have that, then you're not going to be a magnet for that type of lifestyle, because you actually have to have the mindset that goes with it. So you got to get clear on what it is that you want. So what is it that you want, first of all? So new house, new car, better relationship, to be a better human, to be a better parent, just whatever it is that you want. I want you to focus on that for just a moment, and then I want you to, in a moment, we're going to take a second to say it aloud. And whenever you say it aloud, I want you to listen. I want you to get really quiet, and I want you to listen for that self-limiting belief of what comes up for you whenever you say that. Because, like I said before, inside of us we have that origin, and that origin it's going to come up, whatever society has said about it, whatever our parents have taught us. It doesn't matter, but you're going to have something come up for you whenever you say it aloud. So that thing that you want, just focus on it. I want da da da. What comes up for you? Because that is the self-limiting belief that is holding you back from getting that thing. So was it that you're not worthy? Was it that you couldn't afford it? Was it that you're not good enough? What was that negative belief that you have around that thing that is actually blocking you? It's building a wall up to prevent you from getting to that thing. So what is that? And then I want you to ask yourself, is it true? Is it really, really 100% true? So if you said you could not afford that, is that 100% true? Because most oftentimes what happens is we have a lack. We have a belief of a lack, just like money doesn't grow on trees. Money's made out of trees, so technically it does grow on trees, and it can be processed anytime, right? So what belief came up for you whenever you said what it is that you want? Because whatever that lack is, whatever that mindset, whatever that feeling, that negative feeling was, it's usually tied to fear, which is false evidence appearing real, okay? So if you said that you couldn't afford it, was that because you're fearful that you wouldn't be able to afford it? Because technically all people can make more money. You can get a second job, you could get an investment property, which leads to you having more income. So there are ways for you to be able to afford something. But if you're not worthy of it, then why aren't you worthy of it? Because there's somebody else exactly like you, another human, who already has it. So why are you not worthy of the same thing? Why? Discover what it is that is holding you back. What is that self-limiting belief? And then you have to take action on releasing that energy and then creating a new energy and belief around that. So you have to create an affirmation around that in order to be able to get the magnet to start attracting what you want. So you have to take action on the belief, and you have to know that whatever you're wanting is on its way, okay? So you've got to just be clear on what it is you want, and then you have to ask yourself, is it true, the belief that you have that comes up around it? And then you have to understand, what it would feel like to have that thing. What would it feel like to actually have what it is that you want? So let's just say it was a new house. What would it feel like on the day that you got the keys to that brand new house? Would you feel excited? Would you feel stress-free? How would it make you feel? And I want you to take that feeling, and I want you to bottle it up, and I want you to put a cap on it for a second, and I want you to just soak in that feeling for a moment, and then I want you to think about the control that you have with that. Does your mind say that? Is your mind still saying that, you're not worthy of it, you don't have enough money, all the things? Because that's what's really holding you back. And once our brains think that, our brain is a safe place for us. Our heart really wants things. It has all of our desires and our gut feelings and all our intuitions. But our brain is what keeps us safe. And so many times, once we hit that fear, our brain works on the subconscious, and what happens is until it actually experiences something, then it knows it's safe. And because you don't have that new house yet, or whatever it is that you're wanting, your subconscious is telling you, don't go there, right? It's a negative. You can't you can't have that because it's not safe. And then you have to cancel that out. You have to make a new belief around that. It's going to sound like you're lying to yourself whenever you're doing affirmations around it, because you've got to get your mind to believe something before it happens. You have to have faith on the unseen, so that way you have a positive energy around it versus a negative, unsafe one. And then you have to ask yourself what is true about it. And then you have to figure out what it would feel like to actually have that thing. And then once you uncap that bottle and manifest in it and do mantras in that feeling every single day, I am happy to be living in my new home. I am happy, or I am blessed to have a new 5-bedroom home. I am whatever you want. Create I am and I have statements around how it would feel, and then every day restate those mantras and manifest and do meditation on that feeling and with those affirmations. And then when your feelings become your subconscious and it works on replay, what you're going to notice is that you're going to start acting differently. Like, I want you to just think about somebody that already has what you had, okay? And you're going to compare yourself to them and think about how they're different from you. What characteristics do they have? Do they think differently than you? Do they carry themselves a different way than you? What is it that is different from you that they have already having that thing? Because in order for us to have the things that we want, we have to go across those stepping stones to become the person that already has it, right? So you have to take action on believing and knowing that deep down in your heart that you're going to have that thing. And then once you believe that you have it, you have to have the characteristics of the person who has it. So do you accept having it? Because if you don't accept having it, like if I offered it to you today saying, here's your new house, would you accept that offer? Like, would you be able to say, yes, I have it? And how would you walk? How would you talk? How would you, all of the things? Because if you're not already walking and talking as if you already have it, then that's what's holding you back. You've got to already act as if. A lot of people, like when you're creating a business, a lot of people will say fake it until you make it. And it's all because of a mindset shift that has to happen. It has to take place before you can have the success that you want to have in a business. You have to have the mindset of an already successful business to be a successful business. It all starts within. And until you do the work to get to become that person, do the personal growth that it takes, then that's when you're going to start seeing the things start coming to you. And it'll be blessing on top of blessing because you will know the process to take. You've just got to uncover what it is that you want. Uncover the limiting belief that is tied to you on that thing. Break down that wall. Do the self-inner work that needs to take place. Grow into the person that you need to become and be the person that already feels and experiences the thing that you're wanting, and then you're going to attract it to you. But you have to know, you have to be open to accepting it or accepting something better than it. And then once you do that, the last step is just being grateful for exactly where you are right now. A lot of us have a want mindset versus an abundance mindset, and you've got to go through the process of changing and shifting that mindset. You can't just want things all the time. How many of you say, I want a vacation, I want a break, I want to just be happy for a moment, I want, it doesn't matter. But how many of you say I want all the time versus the abundance mindset of, I'm so grateful to have time with my family. I'm so grateful to have loud children who are happy and playing. I'm so happy to just be able to experience this. I'm so happy to have a roof over my head and a home surrounding me. I'm so happy to, or I'm blessed to have, you know, you got to be happy with the journey. It all takes a process, but if you're not willing to be grateful for the process and understand the process and be grateful for moving along on every stepping stone that it takes to get you over here to that thing that you want, then the universe or the Lord, however you want to see it, is going to say, well, they're always wanting, let's give them more wants. Or you're not going to have more of what you want until you realize that what you have is good enough. Because it's until we become grateful for the things that we have, we get better things. And one of the things that my parents taught me growing up was you take care of the things you have in order to get better ones. So it goes with the universe in that aspect. Is if you take care of what you already have, then it's going to grow into such a bigger blessing, because you think you want a bigger house right now. Let's say you want $150,000 house, but are you only saying that because that's what you think you deserve, because that's what your community has? Because there are $1 million homes out there. Like, why is it that you don't deserve $1 million home? Because once you get that $100,000 house, then chances are you're going to understand that you made that happen. So now you're going to want a bigger house, a $600,000 house, right? And you're going to want to take the steps to keep moving forward and having better things, right? Better blessings to come. Because progress in this life means happiness. So as long as we're always setting better goals and growing as a person to get better things, to be better people, to have better relationships, and we're always growing as people, then we're going to be content and happy. But it's when we start that lack mindset, that you don't have enough, or you're not good enough, or the lack of something, that's when the fear sets in, and that's what really holds us all back. And you've got to crush down those boulders that are stopping you from getting what it is you want, and just do the work, the inner work that gets you there. Always be in that grateful state for where you are, and be open to more blessings, and they will come. So I hope this helps. If you need help working through it, let me know. I'd be happy to help you. And just know that we are all worthy of all of our desires. The universe and God doesn't put those desires on our heart without us wanting them for us, because everything that we want wants us back. But this, our heart and our mind, it has to be aligned. What we believe with what we know has to be aligned, or it just does not happen. So do the inner work to get what you want, and you will be manifesting all your desires. So I'll talk to you soon. Hope this helps. Love you all.